Hi, everybody. I am recording from my gazebo today, and you may be hearing some of the children in the background. And you might even have some interruptions, so we'll see how it goes. I normally record when they're asleep, and today was just didn't work out that way. So, what I'm going to be talking to you today about is the top 10 things you need to know about homeschooling. Um, these are things that I've learned over the years. And I'm not saying it's the top 10 for everybody, but it was definitely the top 10 things that I needed to learn. So you don't have to be, number one, you don't have to be a saint to be a homeschooler. You just have to like spending time with your children. Now, for me, this was a big deal. This was a struggle. Not only did I not like my children, but I'm sad to say I resented my children. I had gone through a season, and you can read about that on my blogs. But I really needed to pray that God would turn my heart towards my children. And lo and behold, He did, because He's faithful. And that's really what He wants. And so you don't have to be a saint. There has been days where I have my moments, and we all do. It's just part of motherhood. No one's perfect, and we all are still learning and growing in this thing, and we're all still on the journey. And it doesn't change for those who homeschool. It's still the same thing. The second thing I would say that you need to do is to get to know yourself and your children. We started out actually homeschooling before we had to. My daughter was 4, and we decided to go to the homeschool conference. And thankfully, there was this group there called Smoothing the Way, and they're from Texas. And they were talking about how to get going on homeschooling, what to do, how to start. And one of the things that she really spoke about was to figure out what your personalities are. Learning about your own personality, learning about your children's personality, learning about the best way your children's learning style is, the best way your teaching style is your child a kinetic learner or a verbal learner? Do you prefer textbooks or living books or hands-on things? And so they go through all of these things in their book that they published, but they since then have updated, and I recently had loaned my book out, and I asked for them to send me a new one. And but her site was down, so I had messaged her, and she said, "Oh no, we're going to send you our new thing." And their new thing is they actually send you a little flash drive, and it has everything you need on there from their resources. And then it also connects you to their website and everything right on this. This is so cool. And so I would say that this was a huge game changer for us. In order to know that I was connecting the dots for my kids and that they were getting it, I needed to know them. And in order for me to make sure that I didn't blow my top every day, I needed to know myself and know my limits, and give myself grace when I go beyond my limits. So, number 3, you don't have to be a teacher to homeschool your child. You just have to be able to follow directions. Other than reading, you have to be able to read. But following directions. If you can read a teacher's manual and follow the directions in the teacher manual, you can teach your child from home. There was a time where they didn't even have teacher manuals, and they were able to teach their children from home. It is way easier than you think it is. So that is number 4. That was number 3. Number 4, you don't have to have all the answers. You just need to encourage your children to have curiosity. we are living in such a generation where we can jump on Google or ask Siri's or, find out the information that we need to know. We use it daily. Why does the tree bloom in the spring and not the fall? Well, let's look it up. And why does the lightning bugs light up? How does that work? We look it up. It just encourages them to feed their curiosity, and that it just encourages them to love to learn learning. And then number 5 is homeschooling doesn't look like what you think it looks like. I was public schooled, and so I had this picture in my head that if I homeschool, it would basically look like what public school looks like. Kids sitting in a desk 8 hours a day doing workbooks while I teach them, and they would listen and obey and not get bored. That didn't work for, I found out very quickly that didn't work for us. And so the beauty of homeschooling is that it is a lifestyle and not compartmentalized into a section of your day. So we homeschool, personally, we homeschool all year round, and our kids are learning all day long. And the beauty of homeschool is the flexibility of it. And so that's that. It doesn't look like that. There's a study out there that it says the ultimate amount of time, or the optimum amount of time that your children do best for learning is 15 minutes per year. So a 4-year-old can sit down and take in information, and it'd be fruitful up to an hour. But that hour is spaced out throughout the whole day. A child, there's no way that I know that I'm going to get my 4-year-old to sit down and read to her for an hour. That's not going to work. So it doesn't, whatever thought that you have in your mind that you think it looks like, you need to erase that and think about what would work for your family. And I'm going to go into that more in a future post. Okay, so number 6, homeschooling doesn't mean being cut off from the rest of the world. We get it all the time. Aren't you worried about unsocialization? Our kids have so many friends. And for example, some of you were here yesterday, but yesterday or on Tuesdays, we open our house, and we invite other mamas to come in and just have coffee, and the kids run and play. And I think the first week that we did it, we had 50 people in and around our house. We had, I think it was 9 moms and 40 kids, not including myself. And so we just, we have so many opportunities. And just because you homeschool doesn't mean you actually are disqualified from public school activities. They can be in choir, they can be in orchestra, they can run track, they can do all those things, even though you homeschool. So we've actually had to scale back our activities list sometimes because we were overdoing it. So you won't be alone, you won't be isolated. You will see other people, and you will get to talk to other adults. I promise you. You just have to make it a priority. Number 7, you control the curriculum. The curriculum does not control you. This was a lesson that I really needed to learn, and it took a couple of years to learn. I would buy the curriculum, and I was like, oh, we have to get ... all done. And if it wasn't done, then we hadn't finished the grade. And that, that as the years went by, I realized, oh, my children, this is not really fruitful for them. Or, they don't really need to learn Hebrew, you know.